I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Now we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. It can certainly get loud inside this building, and just a few moments ago when the Vikings were introduced, it was downright shaking in here. They're set for football as the Vikings get ready to do battle with Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the Lions here, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. Bringing them out will be Kirk Cousins, born just outside of Chicago, played his college ball for the Spartans at Michigan State.
And it'll be interesting to see pretty early in this one exactly where his head is, because the best quarterbacks shake off performances like he had last week. Way too many interceptions. Didn't throw a touchdown pass. Team lost the game. Let's see if he can bounce back and get things going in the right direction.
He'll be trying to forget those 3 picks, as you noted. The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. We were just talking about it pregame. 3 tackles for a loss. Last week you thought he looked so explosive on film. Starting off good there. Another one in the first quarter.
He's every bit of what you described. And I don't want to make it too simplistic, but right now for him, it's see ball, get ball. And that's what he's doing really, really well, and he's doing it in the offensive backfield.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The numbers for Diggs from a week ago: 5 catches, 52 yards.
And he's able to pull that last pass in, but this is usually a pretty tough unit to try and maneuver against. They're in the top 10 in the league against the pass, and you and I both know there's not much difference between 1 and 10.
Now a play fake here on first down. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Ziggy Ansah in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17. Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
So here are the Lions now backed up for their first drive. They'll be led out by their 10th-year quarterback. This is his first season in his 30s. 30-year-old out of Georgia. It's Matthew Stafford.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
Now a first carry for LeGarrette Blount. And able to find a little space. He gets this up over the 15 to the 16. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more. And now the offense for Detroit.
Throw on your shades, throw on your sunglasses. We're about to shine a little spotlight on Golden Tate, who comes off of 4 straight seasons with 90 or more catches. He's a guy that maybe doesn't get put in the category of elite receiver, but when you look at his production overall and how he's used in their offense, wide receiver, slot back, take some plays at running back, he's a threat every time the ball's in his hands, especially after the catch.
Now the Notre Dame man, this is Theo Riddick. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. Big conversion. They were backed up deep to start the drive, able to pick up the first.
So the goal is at least a first down here, right? Pick up a first down, give yourself some breathing room, and if you have to punt after that, maybe you've helped with field position and you've helped out your defense.
And avoided a 3 and out on their opening drive. On first down, it's Stafford. And Jones has it over the middle. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. 11 yards for number 11.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Now a first down throw. Stafford almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. On 2nd and 10, Stafford. It's brought in left side by Tate. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
The last play on the completion got him half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. Throwing again is Stafford. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down. So hang on. A big call coming on 3rd.
Pass interference. Defense.
Well, the crowd doesn't like that. Was going to bring up 4th. Now it's 1st.
They don't like it at all, do they? It brings them back into it, but really not in a positive way. Now they're angry. That can jangle a team a little bit as well. Pass interference ruined that series of downs for them.
On first down, Stafford here. Out to the flat. For Riddick. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll make this a second down.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that. Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, to have that dagger play, to have that play and just finish them off right now, because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
To the air again, Stafford. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he's brought down. Stafford to Jones, enough for a Lion first down.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in this paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker, can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Second and 10, Stafford again. Incomplete. He was out there waving his arms saying throw it here, dropped it, not a good look.
Well, all I can do is just look at him with contempt on that one. As a defensive back, I'm saying, not as an announcer. Just like, really?
A little bit of a diva look, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so, because I think what happens is he just had too much time to think. He's wide open now. Here comes the ball, and he doesn't concentrate and drops it.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Again, it's Stafford. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Emerson Griffin coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And now out comes Minnesota. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
They go play action here on first down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Now Riddick. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
He'll run it here with Blunt. He's to the 10, and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. LeGarrette Blunt, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Lions are going to take a first-quarter lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. That'll be taken in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Here comes Kirk Cousins now to lead his offense back out there. And he'll need to find a way to shrug off the opening drive, if you can even call it a drive. 1 play and an interception, so he's got to forget that.
I know that in today's football, we have a good number of coaches who don't look at time of possession the way that the old school guys did. But there's still a place for it. And I think that on this drive, after having thrown that interception, they're going to want to eat up a little bit more clock and run some offense.
The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by Tease Tabor. And the return will stop right around the 25.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff, but they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now. But the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
Meanwhile, we will not get another play as time will run out on this first quarter. They're looking at a 2nd and short yardage to start things out. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1. On 2nd down, Johnson. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he can even get started. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
Now, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Now blown. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Kirk Cousins now gearing up to lead this offense back out there. He's completed 4 passes so far in this game. The issue is 2 of them have been to the guys in the wrong colored jersey.
So I'd say there's a little bit of clouded vision, right? Sometimes he sees clearly, sometimes he doesn't. I know on the sideline they'll be going over things and talk about what the coverages are and what they're seeing. So you used to look at the snapshots, now you look at the Microsoft Surface Pro. He's got to analyze what he's seeing and be more accurate with the ball.
Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. They keep it on the ground, but this time it's Murray. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. And the Lions going with an extra DB here on third down. From the gun, here's Cousins. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation, but sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
And Detroit getting set to go now. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns. We just saw what a lot of teams call a heavy set. 3 tight ends in the game. That signifies they want to run the football. Yeah, occasionally they'll play action and throw it, but most of the time, those guys on the field means strength, power, run the ball behind them. And now what a lot of teams are doing is they're taking an extra offensive tackle and putting him in a tight end number to give them even more blocking power. And we just saw it on that play.
And he's brought down, but not before reaching the 8-yard line. And a nice gain at 21 yards.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
From the gun, here's Stafford. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Anthony Barr coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. On 2nd down, here's Stafford. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Able to get 9 out of that pitch and catch, but now 3rd and goal. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal.
40 gut, set, lady, double, set. 0.
Now Stafford on 3rd and goal. This is Riddick on the screen. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And now out comes Minnesota. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you've got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
Cousins on 1st down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Cousins from the gun on 3rd. Rudolph showing the power. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. Cousins to his tight end Rudolph for a Viking first down.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him old reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Here's Cousins. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Well, they get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
The Vikings on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Working out of the gun. Cousins. And he's able to find Diggs. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. The Vikings first down. Diggs able to find his way free and get the catch from Cousins.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
First down. Here's Cousins. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there. And now it's 2nd down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. On 2nd down, Cook. Sharp move, but can't find much space. Dropped just inside the 20. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave them with a 3rd down and 6 to go.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That was a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
On 3rd down, Cousins. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. A first down throw for Cousins. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. They'll try again on 2nd and goal after going backwards to the 12.
Now let's go.
Now it's the backup Simeon. And Diggs has it. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal?
Here we go now. 39.
Now Simeon on 3rd and goal. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. Able to hold him to just 2 yards, and now it's 4th and goal.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Carlson able to put this one through. And they will indeed get on the board here, but still trailing. It's now 13-3. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
This fielded at the 2. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. And Detroit getting set to go now. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
250.
They begin the drive with Johnson. Fights out the defender, refusing to go down. Solid move, but he's corralled just beyond the 40. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. To throw on second down is Stafford. Flushed out right. Room here to run. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
22. Set. Waiting. Attack 50 left.
A final shot before the break. Stafford. He hits Riddick underneath. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. So I'm waltzing down Main Street, got an umbrella, just a torrential downpour, and I look over, and this guy's stone-faced wearing a poncho that says, "Don't rain on my parade," and he is just angry. And we got to go. I'll tell you what later. Here we go, third quarter. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
Well, that's the desired outcome coming out here in the second half of being able to run the football and establish a little bit of pace and maybe even a bit of dominance at the line of scrimmage. And they want that to continue. Way too early to think about this being ball control time. But the way they're running it, you got to think they may want to continue that and see if they can go ahead and grind their opponents into submission.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out. But a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Hey, 22. Set. Move 60.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. The Lions on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. A shotgun snap for Stafford. Eluding the pressure right. It's caught. Jones. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. And they'll get 14 yards out of it and a fresh set of downs.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
On first down, it's Stafford. To the right and complete to Galladay. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. It's brought in left side by Tate. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
Stafford now 12 of 15 throwing the ball, 80% so far, and it's 1st and 10. Now it's Stafford off the bootleg. He'll buy some time right. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Let's go, let's go. Set, lady, it's right.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Stafford. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1. The Lions on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Now a carry for Blount. So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. This a chip shot, a 20-yarder. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And the lead stretches. 16-3 now. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Now let's go. 3.
They run it again with Cook. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Now let's go.
Throwing on third down, Simeon. And he finds Clark. And he's brought down, but not before getting across midfield to the 45. He got 29 yards that time. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there. Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe you change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
To throw on second is Simeon. It's complete to Diggs. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down. The Vikings on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
Here we go now.
They'll run here. It's Murray. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beefeaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a first down.
And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10.
Set. 60.
The drive starts with a handoff to Blount. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Four down. Check. Set. 180. Hey, tag 50 left. Hey, 4-1 Mike. 4-1 Mike. Ready.
On 2nd down, here's Stafford. And it's complete to Luke Wilson. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Lions holding onto the football, and they also have the lead as we start quarter number 4. The Lions on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. From the gun, here's Stafford. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Tate. That one goes for 36 yards. Well, they had held him pretty well in check, but if you recall back in the first quarter, you said they needed to avoid the big play. He finally gets loose.
And the thing about it, it doesn't have to be a bunch of big plays. Sometimes one big play can be enough. That's why it's tough to deal with a guy like that.
180.
From the red zone now, Stafford going underneath to Blount. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 7 yards on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Hey, go here! Set! 260!
Again, it's Stafford. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Eric Kendricks coming hard from that linebacker spot. He drops him for a loss of 11.
Well, nothing takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Set! 180!
3rd and long. It's Stafford. Flush to his right. Caught right side. Tate. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. Out of the gun, Stafford. This is caught. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Luke Wilson, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Lions are able to grow their lead. They had the lead in the 4th, but still passing. Finding the big target for the touchdown. Now that lead grows even more.
Everybody gets to join in the fun. You know, it doesn't have to just be the wide receivers catching touchdown passes. The tight end doesn't just have to do just the dirty work inside. He gets a chance to get into the end zone as well.
Here's Stafford. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the 4th. So they're able to throw it in for the 2-point conversion. Sometimes that can be a risky play, but they got it.
Yeah, you always have to be careful here because if you do get it intercepted and it's returned by the defense, that's 2 points for them. But he identified an open target and put it right on him.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. And Cook has it left side. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
And right with it here over the middle. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. It'll be a pickup of 4. Good enough to earn him yet another first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds down near the 35-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, He often can go for good yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. And down inside the 15 he goes. A first down for Minnesota. Cousins finding Thielen. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
Offense.
Expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Cook following the penalty. And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. A good comeback there after the penalty, 9 yards, and it's 2nd and 6.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Again, it's Cook. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. The Vikings on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This will be 3rd and 6. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 3rd down, Cousins. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Desperation time. Cousins on 4th down. And it is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Lions will take over. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
Here's a look at Golden Tate as he heads back onto the field now. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well. I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line, and I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine.
Easy, easy. Hey.
Again, it's Johnson. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Lions, the win means they'll finish the first half.
up and I'm feeling like a boss right now. I woke up and I'm feeling like a boss right now. I'm gonna hold it down, I swear. I roll up and I'm smelling like a right now. I do this for my rounds, oh yeah. Feel like in the real life, dripping on sauce in a good life. You shine, I shine, and ain't nobody gonna take mine. I just wanna be a boss. I will never ever fall. Chillin' like a boss with my feet up. Pulling up the know the leader. Getting out while I'm on the. She's a keeper.